What is going on, everybody? We are back with another segment with a beautiful special guest, Ricky Rips. Ricky, how are you doing this fine day?
I'm good, Murph. How are you? How's everything?
And I cannot complain right now. It is nice and hot over here in New England area. I love the summer. I love the heat, so I am all about it. I'm in a better mood when the weather is nicer. So I got no complaints. How's Chicago?
The Cubs are hot, but the weather's kind of not. It's kind of cloudy, kind of gloomy right now. But like I said, all that matters are the Cubs are hot.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So today, we're going to be running back the buy sell portion from last video, but we're going to have some updated names, of course. But however, there's a twist. So the twist is hold. Who are you going to hold?
Oh,
So we have a twist. So buy, sell, and hold. And then there's a second twist. You have to use at least one of them once, and you can only
okay.
hold one. So last time I didn't buy anybody. I was just sell, sell, sell. I don't want nobody. And I traded for one person. I forget who it was. However, we can both buy, we can both sell, but we can only hold once, and we have to use each of them once. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. So, if you want to hold the first guy, whoever I say, that's fine, but you can't hold nobody else. So you're going to be done holding. You're going to have to buy or sell.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Number one, in no order, of course, it's just who I thought of. Drew Jones. He has recently taken the hobby by storm with the bounty of $250,000 that David Adams put on him. If you were to sell his one of one refractor right now, or $1 million if he becomes a Hall of Famer. Now, we all kind of know who Drew Jones is. He was, I believe, second in the draft behind Jackson Holiday. But this is my thing about this bounty, and that bounty is not going to deter my opinion. We're not going to see him for 3 to 4 years. He's going to have a 15-year career, and we're going to have to wait 5 years for him to be on the ballot for Hall of Fame eligibility. That's around a 25-year process. I'm not waiting that long. I'm taking $250,000 right now, if it was me. So, with all things considered, with how the Diamondbacks are playing and how far he has to come and the hype that surrounds him right now, plus the hype of Jackson Holiday, who's the face of the class, are you buying, selling, or holding Drew Jones?
I'm definitely selling for the reasons that you just said.
Sell.
And it's like I told my friend, with Bowman, you have to either sell right away or hold for a long time.
Very long time, yeah.
So you have to figure out if it's worth holding for that long time to maybe to have the prospect maybe pan out or sell them while they're hot. So
So,
Drew Jones, I'm selling.
so I like your point, and if I had that one of one super refractor, I'm selling it.
Yeah,
But
1000%.
I think in a vacuum right now, I want to get a little risky here. I'm gonna buy because
Okay.
that hype is around Jackson Holiday still, and it will be until he gets injured, he plays poorly. But I like what the Diamondbacks are doing in Arizona. They got a good young team now. They're competitive now. Who knows if he'll hold up? But you expect them to be competitive for a couple of years because I have all those young guys for cheap money. And I think Drew Jones will be a part of that maybe sooner rather than later. And I think all it's going to take is one promotion for him to go from low A to high A, or maybe from A to double A. And I think his value is going to blow up. And I think a lot of people know about him, but I think a lot of people are also sleeping on him at the same time. I mean, I'd be totally fine selling him, but I see a potential there. I see a little future there. I'm not prospecting. I'm not, buying $1,000 Drew Jones card. But if I can get into some for reasonable money, then I'll do it. But again, a little bit of a caveat, but I'm going to be buying him in moderation, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
So we alluded to this guy last episode, but I want to talk about him now because he just won the NBA Finals and the MVP, and that's Nikola Jokic. Now, we alluded to him in the aspect of talking about Luka, how his value is so high and he's done absolutely nothing. But Jokic, who's a two-time MVP, runner-up this past year, NBA Finals and Finals MVP, has done everything you could ask for in the past 40 years, 4 years. And I think his value is still fairly cheap. So if we want to make some kind of money or some kind of investment on Jokic, what is it going to take? Is it him having to win another MVP, another championship? I mean, you could arguably say he's a top 5 big man of all time. I mean, that's a conversation for another day, but he's in that class. So, Ricky, are we buying, selling, or holding Jokic with the NBA season just a mere few days over?
So I hate to do this again, but I'm gonna have to sell him
Okay.
for the same reason. Like hype right now, right after the finals, that's when you want to sell. But like you said, what more can he do to up his value? Go into the Hall of Fame? That's not for another 10, 15, whatever years.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's won an MVP. He's won MVPs. He's won an NBA title now, and like you said, he's still fairly cheap. So what else? What else can he do to drive
It,
his value
and
up?
and like that's the thing for me is, when you think of the best players of all time, obviously you're thinking Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. I mean, you could throw Curry in there, a bunch of other players, but like some of the best players of all time are big men, whether that's Shaq, Russell, Wilt, Kareem. I mean, Jokic again is relatively starting to become in that conversation now with the championship and an MVP. I mean, that was the biggest knock on Curry. Doesn't have a finals MVP. Well, he has one, and so doesn't Jokic. What more does he have to do? I mean, you could look at big men across the board's value. I mean, Shaq rookie cards are dirt
Even
cheap.
Shaq is pretty low.
Exactly. So it's like, I think you're right. Sell the hype right now because we're only going to be getting deeper into the off season of NBA, and the value is going to spike in basketball with trades and free agent signings and moves. And Jokic ain't getting moved. I don't see the Nuggets making a big splash this year, this offseason. So again, how's his value going to go up over the summer when it's probably at its highest peak right now? So I do agree with you. I think he is a good sell right now. And probably a sell over the course of the summer. I mean, if you can run into some stuff cheap, fine. But just in a vacuum, if you can make $100 off a card, just make the $100 off the card because people are going to be looking elsewhere, especially with Wembanyama coming up in the draft very soon, I think like a week or so. This is an interesting player because he's injured right now and he's on the IL for the second time this year, but he's still a tremendous player, and that is Aaron Judge. He was injured. He came back. He was hitting home runs. He's projected to hit 60 home runs again, even after missing some time. He's missing time again. It's just the Yankees have such a good following that you're always going to be able to sell Aaron Judge cards. Will you be able to sell him for a profit? Will you be able to collect Aaron Judge if you want to be a Judge collector? I mean, personally, the injuries do worry me. I mean, he's 30 years old. He's going to be a Yankee for the next 9 years. I mean, he's a big dude, so there's a lot there to get injured. But he is undoubtedly one of the best players in the league when healthy. So, Ricky, are you going to be buying, selling, or maybe even holding Aaron Judge to see what happens post-injury?
Might be using my hold here.
Hold.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be using my hold here
Okay.
because
Why
yeah,
is
he's
that?
injured. His value might not be the highest right now, but at the end of the day, he's still Aaron Judge. He's that name. He's a Yankee. He's gonna hit bombs.
Mm-hmm.
So his value will be going up again. I can tell the hype's kind of died around him a little bit, but it'll it's gonna stick around. So if I
I
have
feel
Judge, I'm holding.
I feel like the hype is kind of when Judge is playing, it's all on Judge. When he's not playing, it's kind of spread out a little bit. And when there's going to be another player on here we're going to talk about who I think deserves more hype and attention. But with Judge, like you mentioned, he's a Yankees. I talked about it on the podcast. I mean, Yankees have a top tier fan base in terms of following, maybe not in terms of physical,
Yeah,
politeness, but
yeah.
Yankee fans travel well. I mean, Yankees top tier franchise of all time. And whenever you go to a show, you have a lot of people, at least around here, because New York's close. You have any Judge cards? You have any Yankees cards? Like, I mean, the Yankees fan base travels very well. He's clearly the face of the franchise, one of the best players in baseball. Me personally, if I can get into it affordably, I'll buy it. If I can make a profit, I'll sell it. But I mean, I was so back and forth on the podcast. I had so much trouble trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm going to buy. I think he's a good buy right now because he's missed significant time twice now. And he's still
Mhm.
going to hit 50 home runs, probably still make an all-star appearance, be in the MVP conversation for some reason. He will be. I just, plus, he should be an easy move. Even if I break even down the road, he should be an easy move. So for that reason, I'm going to buy and I'm going to keep my hold in my pocket.
Okay.
This, I like this one right here. I do. So This is a 2-for-1. So you have to either buy or sell both guys. And
Okay.
they're both in the
Both.
same they're both in the same boat. They're both quarterbacks. Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell. I don't know about you in
Uh,
Chicago and over there. I mean, I know the focus is on like Justin Fields a lot, but around here, it is Desmond Ridder and Sam Howell and
mhm.
nobody else right now, past couple weeks. So you already used your hold. And I mean, they're still fairly cheap, so you should be able to buy them fairly easily. If you want to sell them, obviously you can. Ricky, two quarterbacks with very little experience, with a lot of hype on fairly bad teams, but you can make a case they could have a good year this year. Are you buying, or in your case, are you just buying or selling Desmond Ridder and Sam Howell, 2-for-1?
As much as I don't want to say this, I'm buying them
Yes, I like that.
because, like you said, the hype's around them now. When national comes around, the hype's going to be even greater. So that's when you want to have them buy. So if you could get them now for a little cheaper, absolutely get them. Because come
So
national, everyone's going to be looking for them.
now let me ask you this: if they had a poor preseason and you're 1 week away from the regular season, are you still buying or are you going to sell then? Like, say they're still the starters, they look ugly.
Preseason, I'm still buying.
Okay, so I'm just going to get to the chase. I'm buying too. I've been buying. I've been high on Desmond Ridder. Sam Howell's grown on me. I like how these guys are getting a chance. Malik Willis, Carson Strong, Ian Book. I mean, all these guys. I mean, Kellen Mond. All these guys aren't getting chances. They're getting drafted a year and they're not getting chances. These guys are getting chances to play. And I like what the Commanders are doing. I like their defense. I like their offense. Falcons, I think that offense is going to be really good this year.
Mhm.
They both have a lot of potential and they're still fairly cheap. I know Ritter's, just generally more expensive because he played more last year. But I mean, that NFC South is wide open. The Commanders have a good offense. I mean, there's a lot of good potential there. I mean, are we just going to sit here and buy Kenny Pickett all day? Like, I mean, who else from that draft class are we going to go into? So I'm buying them as well. I like the potential. I've liked their potential for months. People are finally jumping on the bandwagon. Not a lot of room on the bandwagon, but you know what? More the better. Here is the last guy for today's show. And again, I kind of alluded to him when we were talking about Aaron Judge, Ronald Acuna Jr., arguably the NL MVP right now. He's almost at 30 steals. I was talking about it on the podcast. Dude's a walking 30-30 guy this year. And I kind of brought this point up. When we were watching Judge chase for 60 last year, everyone was after Judge cards. Well, with the bases being bigger and the talent level that Acuna has and the potential that he has to not only steal but hit home runs, we might be watching a 40-40 chase in August and in September. And I looked it up. Last one was Alfonso Soriano in 2006, and there's only been 4 guys to do it. Could Acuna be the first one in nearly 20 years? And could he just really kind of shapeshift the market that way, where we're actually paying attention to his steals and we're not only paying attention to his home runs? I mean, he's going to be an all-star. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs. So, I mean, there's all those points. Are we buying, selling? Well, I guess for you, you're just buying or selling. But for me, buying, selling, or holding Ronald Acuna Jr.
I'm buying.
Okay.
I would buy a lot, to be honest, because back when the Braves won their World Series, he wasn't even a part of that.
That is true.
So we
He's
have,
injured.
and I believe in the Braves a lot this year. I think they're going to have a very deep run. So if he's going to be a part of that, he's going to be a big part of that.
I
So
agree. I mean,
if we get to see a nice Ronald Acuna postseason run, then he's gonna shoot up.
so like, I guess by default, I have to hold here because I haven't used my hold yet. Um,
Yeah.
but I have no problem holding Acuna because of all those good things that, we already talked about. I just, will he be in the 40-40 conversation? Maybe. But is that going to be enough to kind of drive his market? He's if to the season ended today, he's the MVP of the NL. But like, let's say someone else kind of comes through the woodworks and there's a battle, and the attention goes to that person. Pick anybody, doesn't matter. Mookie, Juan Soto, anybody
Corbin
that's playing good.
Carroll.
Who?
Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Cat. I mean, Diamondbacks. Going back to the Drew Jones conversation, it's just like I don't know if that's going to be enough to kind of raise his value because we expect the Braves to be in the playoffs. We expect Acuna to be a 30-30 guy. We have all these high expectations for him. What is it going to take? I mean, He's not going to be hitting 50. He's not going to be hitting 60 home runs. One injury could derail it. I mean, if I could, I would buy, and I probably will be buying. For this purpose, I'm going to be holding just because there is a lot of cautions. I mean, the NL is kind of a crapshoot in all honesty. So it's like, what are the Braves doing that's impressive besides beating up on the Nationals, the Cardinals, because the Cardinals suck right now. So I love the potential. I'm very hopeful that we can have a 40-40 chase this year. I mean, I guess those pizza box bases are making an impact this year because steals are through the roof this year, which is awesome. But I'm going to be holding Acuna. This was a fun one. I think I enjoyed this segment a lot more than I did last time just because we had more diverse conversation in terms of buying, selling, and we were going back and forth, which was nice. Do you have any final remarks or any tidbits you want to kind of walk away with before we end today's video?
Buy Mookie and Juan Soto.
Oh my God, I knew you were gonna say that. Buy Mookie and Juan Soto. Listen, I made that post that it was a video that comes out soon, but a reel about like how these superstars are down right now. After I said that, Mookie is playing a little bit better. Juan Soto's playing a little bit better. Trey Turner hit like 2 home runs in a game the day after I made that.
Get hot.
That's what I'm saying. Like baseball superstars in general are just good buys. Buy Mookie, buy Juan Soto. Let's see, what can I say to kind of go away? John Morant just got suspended today. I mean, this video is coming out a few days after the suspension. I mean, I was going to put him on the list, but just for me, he's just a massive sell right now. I don't know about you.
25 games.
Bonus. John Morant, buy, sell, or hold.
Depending on the price, I might be buying.
So I think within the next couple weeks, I think his market's just going to crash because of the suspension. And then people will be like, whoa, it's only 25 games. Grizzlies could, go 20 like 15 and 10 and get by.
They're gonna panic, so.
Exactly. So I mean, personally,
you get a good card for the right price.
Exactly. I mean, there's a conversation for buying, selling, and holding John Morant cards. Maybe when the offseason gets a little bit more mature, maybe we'll put him on the list next month and we'll kind of talk about it then. But Ricky, thank you again so much. I really appreciate you being on today. Your thoughtful insights and your discussion has been very well appreciated. So I will catch you in the next one, pal.
Always a pleasure, Murph. Thank you.
See you, man.